So here we are with one more edition of Coffee. I have to turn my mug around here. Coffee with Tammy. I am your current IAAHPC president for 2021. And what we're doing is we're spotlighting some of our amazing members who do things for you, and you may not even know what they're doing for you. So we want to take some time and allow them to share their brilliance. And today we have our amazing Mary Craig. So she is the kind of the founder of our community. She went out and did all of the legwork to look for a platform that was going to serve our community. And she's a veterinarian. So you may say, well, how does this veterinarian have these multifaceted skills? Oh, let me tell you, Mary is one of those people who have many, many, many talents. And she is so willing to share them with our community. And we're going to take a tour of our website, basically, which we call, I don't know if it's the website or the community. And really, I want to bring you some basic questions, Mary, about what the difference is between those terms. So
absolutely.
So welcome, first
Thank
of all.
you. Thank you.
So what is the difference between the community and the website? Is that one and the same?
Yeah, and I'll show you that. What we're going to do is go to the website and then log in as a member. Basically, the difference is our public-facing website, ihpc.org, is it's just that. It's a public-facing website. The community is a place where quite a bit of the content, you can't even access it unless you're logged in as a member. That's not entirely true, but slightly different URL. You'll notice at the top, the address. Instead of it being ihpc.org, it's community.ihpc.org. And, you know, it doesn't matter how you get there. You can either bookmark the community or you can bookmark the public web page, but they both kind of end up at the same place. Shall I share my screen and we'll look?
Please, yes, let's go.
All right. And so we're going to go to my screen, and this is my Zoom link. Hold on, I got another link to show you. So this is our publicly facing web page. You can see it says at the top, ihpc.org. And one of the ways you'd know the difference is the publicly facing one, the golden retriever is wagging its tail.
Okay.
But if you go up here to the top, it says member login. And if we click that, everybody that's a member has a username and password, even if you don't know it. But you can see this looks kind of similar to the page we just saw, and we did that on purpose. But the dog doesn't wag, so that's one way to tell where you are. And you can see the URL is changed up here. It says community.ihpc.org. And you can also see at the very top, it says sign in tiny little letters. It also has a sign in alongside here. Both of those are places you can sign in. And in fact, the other thing you can do is if you poke around and you get to a place that is member only, it'll prompt you to sign in there too. But just because we're here, I'm going to go ahead and sign in now, and then we can poke around. See, it says up here now, sign out. That means I'm signed in.
Okay.
And this is the
good little tidbits, really, just to know you're now actually in and live as a member.
Yes, I am indeed. And you can see, and this changes up this homepage depending on what's going on. But these thingies in just here under the welcome to are designed to get you to where you need to go quickly. So we'll jump around to each of those as we go through here. Right now we're highlighting conference, so there's a link to register for conference. And right here is a link to the YouTube video with Kim, who you talked with a few weeks ago about volunteering for the ihpc.org.
Wonderful.
A few other things here. First time to the community, it talks about reviewing your profile. Are you listed in the public directory? So there's a lot of stuff here. Oh, and our Platinum ihpc.org sponsors at the bottom here. So lots of good information on this main page.
Okay.
And this is where you always start.
Okay.
where do you want to go, Tammy?
So let's, well, I'll tell you, for my, my practice, we are always interested in education and learning. So let's start right off with that. So I know that the IHPC offers actually race accredited courses that
Great.
come with
Yes.
your membership. So
Yes.
this is one of the amazing member benefits. So how do we access that? And I know we have other education that's not race approved, but let's see what education we've got, including the race.
Yeah.
Approved.
And you can see it right here. It says CE opportunities.
Okay.
So the easiest way to get there is there. You can also just go to the online store, but people want to find this, so it's easy and upfront. You click on that. Now this is the store, and you can see here it says race certified content. And right now, what we have race certified, other than our certification program, which because the certification program is limited to just people who are in the program, you won't see links to that anywhere here unless you're in the program, and then there's a special place for it. But you can see this is what's race certified, and then other. And the main other are past conferences, right? And all that's free. All of that is free. You can look at topic lists.
Okay.
The other thing you can do is up here in the search box, you can search for something. If you want to know if we've ever done a talk on telazol, you can type that in and it'll bring up, I happen to know the 2019 conference had something on telazol, so it'll bring that up. But if you want to see what's race approved, the conference is not free, so you can definitely buy that. It's $3.95 for members. I'm going to back up one.
And that was our virtual conference we had
Correct.
last year that was really amazing and just rave reviews. So
Absolutely.
that's still available for people to actually buy right now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If we go to the second bullet, select race approved conference sessions from 2019. Now this is the list of all the conference, all the sessions that we've individually gotten race approval for that are still active and live. And so you can find it right here.
So if someone takes, let's say they're going to take this one called Break Through the Ceiling, 3 Tools for Practice Success.
Yes.
That you're going to view it over here. And then they would watch the class, and then are there some questions that they have to ask at the end in order to qualify for the race approval?
I believe so. So we have gotten much better at getting those questions in here for race approval, but you'd purchase it and you can see it says your price is $0.
Okay.
And then I'm going to quickly just, because I know I can do this without a whole lot of messing around. It pre-populates your information. You proceed to the confirmation. It's a few clicks for the free stuff, but it's still free. So that's what's important.
We love free.
And then it says, thank you. They're in the Learning Center, and you'll get a receipt that says you purchased this, and there's a link there too. But you can just click on the Learning Center here, and that'll take you over. And this sometimes takes just a minute or two, especially on my slow connection. But it's going to take us to the Learning Center where any of these courses that you've purchased, either for money or for free, show up here. And I'm going to see if refreshing here will speed things up a little. It never does it? We'll come back to that.
Okay.
It'll keep loading, and I don't want to take your time, Tammy.
Okay, that's fine. So anyway, that'll take you over to that. We'll go visit that again here in a little bit. But then you have access to that 1 hour session.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It may have just gone up.
There we go. So this is the Learning Center. And again, looks a little bit like the community, but it's got a slightly different look and feel.
So we're actually somewhere else.
Yeah, and so you can see up at the top, it says peachtreemedia.com. And one of the reasons we decided on this platform, this community, was because the Learning Center would mesh and communicate both ways with our association software. And because I loaded literally all of these courses, they're all here. So we just have to find the one that I just downloaded. Break through the ceiling, right?
Right there. Mm-hmm.
Right there. You click on it, hit view now, and it's right there.
Look at that.
Yeah, and we're not going to play it because, or at least we're not going to play the sound, but it will play in this viewer. There it is. And then you'll submit for credit here when it's over. You have to watch the whole thing to be able to submit, but it's here.
Okay.
I'm going to leave this. Oh,
and if
go ahead.
once you submit for the credit, then do you get an email with a certificate or something?
You do, but the other thing is back here on your page, I'm in my classroom.
Okay.
If you go to My CE and Certificates,
yes,
anytime you can scroll down here and see all the things that you've gotten CE for. It's the blue squares. These are pending. I haven't finished any of these. I'm not a finisher, I guess. But for example, I did finish Break Through the Ceiling, and I can hit view and it brings up my certificate right here. And then I can print that.
Fabulous. Okay.
Yep. So that's one place for all your certificates, which I find really helpful for me at least.
Oh my gosh, Mary, this is incredible. And it's why I really wanted to do a tour for all of our members, just so that they could understand how to quickly access the amazing benefit of education that we offer, and including how very slick and easy that is to go to My CE and Certificates and be able to access your own certificates for your license renewal. So that is wonderful. Well, tell me, is there anything else along the area about the education and access that would be helpful for people?
You know, we are always adding new. If I'm back in the community now and looking at learning, and this is also, so you can definitely jump right to the Learning Center, but this is also where you can learn about animal hospice and palliative care certification, as well as the social work certificate. And so you go to a page, it's got all the information you need to think about whether you want to embark on that. There's the handbook, there's the application. We have the same thing for the social work certificate. We have a description of the program. So anybody that's interested in getting more education, sure, the free CE is fabulous, but also there are more formal programs that are really quite in-depth, and I don't think anybody else has programs like our animal hospice and palliative care program. So that's a fabulous place to start thinking about.
So truly, when you join our organization, it allows you to take your practice to the next level. We offer a lot of free education. Our conferences are amazing. The one we're going to be having this year in Tampa, you can't miss it. It is going to be so great because we did go virtual last year. And while it was rave reviews and it was wonderful, we didn't get to see each other. And so we are all excited to get back together again. We're going to be in a gorgeous location. We're going to have plenty of outside venues because it's going to be in Tampa. So it's going to be hot and warm. And so that is definitely one that you want to get to. So our conferences are another place that our organization absolutely excels with the latest and greatest education. Yes. But our certification program is second to none because it was the first ever certification for vets and registered vet techs and social workers to go 100 courses for the vets and the vet techs. I mean 100 race CEs. So we really take you deep with the certification.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So we have lots of education. We can access it super easy on our community. What else do we have? You had those little icons. You had, I think you had one that said member benefits.
Let's look at member benefits for just a few minutes. And we're developing new member benefits all the time. We have a wonderful committee chair, Alec Dahlgren, who is always on the lookout for good member benefits. Right now we have all sorts of things. We have certainly some info sheets and in-clinic presentations. There's a Facebook page. There's some information down here in the file, practice guidelines, a member survey. But the other exciting thing about member benefits is the member rewards program. And we've gone out to our sponsors and said, hey, would you be willing to offer something for any of our members? And you can see here in the member rewards program, all of these companies that we've all heard of and used, and all of them are offering something off for our members, whether it's in a CZ Loop or Youth the Bag, Paw Pals, Oxygen, all of this. So fabulous resources here, and all you have to do is use the code or use the link, and you get those discounts just because you're a member.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. And it's awesome the way you have it listed there. So it's really easy that if you're wondering about something, you've got a real quick, easy guide for that. And I love that Alex is expanding this list all the time, working with our sponsors to do that.
Absolutely.
That's great.
So I know you had a question about practice memberships.
Yes.
And I just wanted to touch on that.
Please do.
So
members can join if they are, as Colleen likes to say, solopreneurs, and they can be kind of a onesie in our organization. Or if you have a bigger practice, we have 15 employees and we have about 11 clinical team members with my company of Angel's Paws, and we as an organization offer a practice management or a practice membership, which is huge for somebody like me. So Mary, tell about that.
And so I'm going to sign out just briefly and see. I think I can do this easily enough to be able to show you. So I'm going to click on haven't joined yet. And this is what, if you're new to our organization and you haven't joined yet, this is what you'll see. And so you can see, you can register as in any number of different categories. And anybody that looks at this list and says, I have no idea where I fit, then you're probably an affiliate or team member. So that is, and all of the people that may not be veterinarians, they may not be technicians, they may not be mental health professionals, all of those, but everybody's welcome. So the practice membership is one that is a fabulous resource, as Tammy was saying. Yeah, and it's now going to prompt me here. I'm going to sign back in so we can see that. It effectively is $200, $199 for up to 10 members. So if you have 10 members, that's a $20 a piece membership. That's a deal. But the reality is most of our practices are 2 or 3 people. But still, we want the customer care representative to be a member. We want your technician to be able to be a member. And rather than asking you for a little bit of money for every one of those people, the practice membership just works so much better. So if you were to choose practice membership, it would walk you through that process. But then you say, okay, so I'm signed up. How do I get my team signed up? And I'm gonna show you a couple of ways that you'll end up seeing that information. But one of the ways is if you go just under the home button, it says help with practice memberships. And there's a whole page on it. And in fact, because there's a whole page, there's also a downloadable instructions, because we're going to leave this page to do it. But you can definitely download the instructions and it'll walk you right through it. But Tammy, I know that you said you're already a practice member, have a practice membership. And so then how do you sort of keep track of who's under your membership and how do you get other people signed up?
Yes.
And to do that, the easiest way is so whoever signs up for the practice membership is considered the master. Don't let it go to your head.
Okay.
Just a classification. But so the master has to go in for this step. And you just go into manage your profile. And this, you see this looks a little different. It's the community within the community. And we've tried to make the links similar, but also helpful. Under quick links, there is here help with practice memberships, but if you've already downloaded that form, you don't need that anymore. I happen to have a practice membership too, so I'm going to show you what mine looks like, and yours will look the same. Okay. I always encourage people to look through your profile and make sure it's all current and you've got information where you want it to be. The other interesting thing, or really important thing, is you can see this little red person versus the green lock. Mm-hmm. And you get to decide what information is shared and what isn't. And so a lot of us really don't want our home address shared. So no one can see that except members.
Okay.
On the other hand, everybody can see that I'm from Connecticut. And that's really important if you want to be listed in the directory. But so back to practice membership. If I go to information and settings, I got a whole bunch of tabs across the top. The one we're going to focus on is team members. And if you had 10 members that were part of your practice membership, you would see them here. I just have one. His name's Michael Moore. He happens to be my husband. But you can see he's here. And if I didn't want him on the practice membership anymore, I could kick him off. So this actually is done fairly often because practices, people change over time. And so you can remove people who aren't with your practice anymore, or you can add new people. And the easiest way to add new people is to go to this Your Team Members direct link. Mm-hmm. And this is a URL that if you copy it and email it to anybody else in your practice, they will be taken directly to that link, and they can create their own username and login, and they're automatically under your practice. So they don't have to pay additional membership fees. You've already done that for them, but this link will get them there. I don't mean to get down into the weeds, but this does expire every 30 days. And so you send it out. We have some large practices that they send out a notice every month or two, and they first come here and make sure that they get a new public key, which you can just hit this button and do it. But this is only good for 30 days. If somebody tries 31 days later, they'll get an error, and then they'll have to email me and I'll help them.
Mary, this is awesome. Thank you so much. Well, we have this wonderful platform. And for me personally, I am old and I am intimidated by a lot of things that are online. But you have worked so hard at making this extremely user-friendly that I knew that you had done that, and I really wanted to make it available to all of our members just to see how easy it is to get in here and play around. There's no button. I want to make sure this is true, Mary. There's no button they can push that would blow up Pittsburgh. Is that right?
Not Pittsburgh. No. You can't accidentally delete stuff. You can't do anything wrong. And I'll tell you, the other really helpful thing is right up here at the top, it says contact us. And at any point you can click on that and fill out a form. It says, I'm filling it out here, but you fill out this form, you tell me what's the problem, and I will help you solve it. And so I literally check this daily. And if it's trouble logging in, or you have a question about certification, I send those to our Stephanie, our admin there. But we will absolutely solve your problem, whatever it is.
And going back to our Coffee with Tammy and Kim Parker last time, she is our volunteer coordinator, and we are always looking for volunteers because Mary is a volunteer, and you know, she acts like she is paid a huge salary with our organization because she is that responsive, and she cares that much about what's going on with the web, with our website and our community, that she's really checking in when you say you have a question. She is right there, but she is a volunteer who's doing that. And if there's anyone who is watching this who has some IT expertise, I'm sure that Mary could always use some assistance along those
Absolutely.
lines. Love to have some help with this as well, and because we're always needing to update it with new information, and she does a fabulous job on doing that. Well, Mary, we're about to conclude, and since we are about to conclude, I do have a question for you. Since you're doing all of this volunteer work for the organization, I'm going to ask you, what is the one thing that you do for self-care for you? And if you don't do anything at all, what is the one thing that you can commit to doing between now and the conference in September in Tampa? Because I'm going to be asking you this question again. So make it be something that you can literally do.
Oh, trust me. Self-care is my middle name.
Oh,
so what we have done, my husband and I, just a few months ago, we bought a camper.
awesome.
And so this coming weekend, we go on our first camp out with our travel trailer, and it's adorable. And so that's my self-care, getting out into nature and enjoying the quiet and just enjoying each other.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'll tell you what, the rest of us will be staying in that Marriott with the indoor bathroom and everything. And Mary and her husband will be tucked right outside in that parking lot.
Probably not, but maybe.
We're going to come looking for you, Mary, to prove that you're doing that. Well, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time
to
share
Tammy.
with our members on how to get in here and how to really use this wonderful tool that you've given us. Thank you.
Again, just keep asking questions.
Sounds perfect. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tammy. Take care.
You too.
Bye now.